Wow, do I have a great interview for you. My brother from another mother, DJ Twilight. We started spinning together back in the early days of ASAP Productions, and then he ended up taking a job that would forever mold him and his beautiful family. So sit down with me while we talk about his early days in the DJ world to the international stage to places such as Dubai, China, Sweden, Brazil, and more. It's a really fascinating story that you don't want to miss. So let's go check it out. All right, cool. All right, so DJ Twilight.
Yes, sir.
Man, it's been a minute. God. How long?
5 years, I think.
So how's everything been?
Hey, it was moving at the speed of light. Now everything is in slow motion.
I got you. So before we get into all that, because I'm really, really interested in hearing about some of that stuff. Because, like I said, I got Facebook stalked you all throughout the years and saw the family pictures and just watched the whole thing. So I'm super fascinated about it. So I look forward to talking about it. But so people can kind of understand who you are as a person. Um, tell me who you were high school, like, who were you during high school? Like, were you the partier, the outgoing guy, shy? Were you always into music like you are now?
Yeah. I've always been into music. I was in the marching band actually, in the jazz ensemble in high school. I was in like all the smart kid classes. It was like a cohort of us, so we all had all the same classes. They were either honors or AP. And then I was in the marching band, like I said, for like from my sophomore year on. But I wouldn't say I was very outgoing. I had a job. I used to work in high school. Um, wasn't very social. I had no money, man. I was broke. I'm from a kid from the south side of Chicago, and I just did what I could just to kind of get by. And I got a scholarship, a music scholarship, and it took me to Mississippi. So
So that's what. Okay, I got you. So so the transition to DJing, like, so you and I first met, when you were working with, Preston and ASAP Productions and doing those events. So
yes.
was that like your first, like, I guess, promoter or company or group to work with, or were you doing something prior to that?
Yeah, no, that's where I started as a DJ. Man, funny story. So in college, I discovered the ability to burn CDs, right? I love music. So I used to go to my boy's Don room after class, and I would just like download a ton of music. I forgot what program it was. It was LimeWire or Napster, whatever was out then. Because I was a poor college kid. And I used to just make everybody uh, mix CDs, man. And I wasn't charging or anything. I was just doing it because I loved it. So I ended up having a stockpile of music. And then fast forward years later, and they have these DJ interfaces and things. And I just loaded all that music up. And actually, I still have it. I still spin with a lot of the original songs that I downloaded. But as far as professionally DJing, yeah, I definitely started in Jackson with ASAP. The Aquarius event was my very first one. I think that was 2009. I think, yeah, 2009, January, February. That was my first event as a pro DJ.
So, how did you know Preston, or did you who like what was that? Who was the connection right
Oh,
there?
yeah,
Or
so
did you guys all know each other?
yeah, we went to college together, actually.
Um,
And we're fraternity brothers, too. So we just linked up. Like I had graduated in 2004 from Alcorn, and I went back to homecoming maybe 2008, and I ran into Preston. He was like, "Hey, I'm gonna start this promotion company or this party event or something." And I told him, like, I'm looking to get into DJing. Uh, and so he said, "Well, come to this meeting. We'll have a meeting." And then he kind of put a team together, and from there, we just kind of built. I didn't even have DJ equipment then, so I went and bought like this little controller. It was like trash, bro. It was like I don't know, it's a little Newmark. I don't even think that, I believe it's discontinued. And that was my first DJ equipment, and I DJ'd his event with it, and it was terrible. I was trash. It was just like the worst experience I've had as a DJ. But yeah, but after that, I sold my first HD TV. This one was when the HD TVs first came out, and I sold it in order to buy my first like real set of turntables and speakers and stuff. And I just started practicing.
Right.
Yeah.
That is like I've never like I guess I've never really heard that story. You know, like I guess like or really understood it, but you and I have very, very similar like beginnings on like the way things occurred and why they did. Because like whenever I met Tanya, whenever I met Tanya, like I would literally like I was raping Napster and all that, and and she had like a dial-up connection, so I had to start all my songs before we went to bed.
Yeah, and they'll be ready the next day.
Right, they'd be downloaded by the next day, and so then it just became like just this massive amount of music, and I was just, and then I started, I was on a buddy of mine that owned a Mexican restaurant, and bugged him forever, and so he finally did, and I took all that music and converted it into CDs and organized it, and but my first unit thing was this little box. It had 2 jog wheels and a little mixer, and it was like up and down, left and right, and then you had like a little eject button, and it was horrible. But then I got so frustrated because I was like, I can't really even like beat match this stuff because you're doing like this, and so I bought a pair of Stantons, which was a huge mistake. Should never done that. Right. That was just a waste of money. I
wasted
finally got some techniques.
I wasted so much money. Oh man.
But it is what it is. Like that. I think that's a lot.
Yeah.
I think if you haven't done things like that, coming up and trying to find your way, you really not. I don't really feel like you're just really trying. Like that's part of the experience. Is like trying different things, and some things you're good at, some things you're not, and capitalizing on things that you are good at.
Definitely trial and error, man.
So all right, so let's back up. So you went to college, linked up with them, and so I guess about that time you're graduating college, around that time period, or
no, I graduated college in 2004.
2004.
Yeah, and then I joined the military.
Did you really?
Yeah, I went to the Army, man, and I went to basic training, and I got discharged on graduation day because I had asthma. I never even knew I had it.
Really?
And, yeah. Wow. And then I moved to Oxford, Mississippi, and I lived there for about 2 years in 2004 to 2006, 2005 to 2006. And then I went back to Alcorn for grad school. And then I got a job in Jackson, Mississippi at the University of Mississippi Medical Center, testing patients for osteoporosis. That was that was 2006, I think. Mm-hmm. And then I started teaching. I got my teaching license. And then I've been teaching ever since, which that's what took me overseas.
So you're DJing, doing events, doing this, that, and other, and you're teaching.
Yeah.
And so
then I moved to Kansas City, remember?
Right,
In 2012, I moved to Kansas City.
So tell me the story on how the whole Dubai thing, how you ended up going over there and traveling, and seeing a bunch of different things that, you know, a lot of people never get to see.
Yeah.
So tell me how that came about.
So when I was working in Kansas City, I got promoted to a district level administrator. And but me and my wife was talking before I got promoted. I had looked into teaching overseas, and they had called me for an interview, and I initially declined because I got promoted. But then, you know, maybe a few months into the job, you know, I talked to my wife, and we was like, it'd be cool to go because I hadn't ever been on a vacation or anything. She's traveled the world, you know, well before she met me. So she was like, we should do it. You know, we both kind of just spinning our wheels here in America. And so I called the company back that's recruiting for overseas and told them I'm willing to interview. And I interviewed on right around Thanksgiving of 2015.
Mm-hmm.
I was offered a job the next week, and we flew to Abu Dhabi January 11th of 2016.
So what was that like? I mean,
Man.
because you just laid that out, like, you know, yeah. So we just got jobs and just left and just went.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
well, you know, you can't be afraid. You can't be afraid to, you know, go for what you want and to just do things. You can't be afraid to start over.
Right.
Because we only live in here once, and then we're gone.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, dude, I feel you on that. Yeah. Salute to you. Really, like that's awesome because that's what I keep trying to instill in Tanya. You know, like, hey, like we gotta, you know, the businesses are gone. You know, like we need to go and do that next chapter.
Yeah, go do it. You can't be afraid. You can't be afraid to fail. You can't be afraid to start over.
No.
And that's really added excitement to my own life. Like it was like the unknown.
Right.
And I'm a pretty safe person. I usually play things pretty safe. So the fact that I was willing to, you know, go outside the box, I was really actually proud of myself for that.
Yeah, no shit. I was proud of you. I mean,
Yeah.
that's amazing. So whenever whenever you go, like I know you just don't like just go over there. Like what about like, you know, local customs and like expats, like how is that all like, you know, how does that all work together over there?
Well, so in the UAE, that's the United Arab Emirates. That's where Dubai and Abu Dhabi and there's 5 other Emirates there. You have to have a visa, of course, and most expats, Americans get a tourist visa. It lasts like 30 days. So you can go right now. Well, once all this passes, you can go. And you can go there for about 30 days as an American. Or you go on a work visa, which you're there and you can live. You get a residence visa and you can live there. And like I bought a car and all kind of stuff. Like you really become almost like a citizen there. Granted, it's a Muslim country and it's a lot of things to get used to, especially if you're not Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what going abroad is about. It's about learning other cultures and exposing other cultures to yours. You know,
right.
so
yeah, like I was like that whenever I was in the military, and they, you know, the first duty station was Korea. My first duty station.
mm-hmm.
I was stressing at first, but like, you know, in my defense, I had, you know, I guess growing up, you know, in Mississippi and just the environment, like there was no, I guess, instillment of wanting something better or beyond what was around me. You know, so then I go to the military thinking I'm old. But yeah, I was stressing though, like, you know, 'cause they were handing out, you know, you're going to Fort Sam Houston, you're going to Germany, you're going to Korea, you're going here. And get to me and the dude's like, Shelby, soldier, you're going to Korea. And I was like, fuck. All I knew about Korea was MASH. You know, like that's what I really thought it was like.
Yeah.
Because once I got told that.
Yeah. That's what going abroad is about. See, you hear about things, you see things only on TV, and just
Right.
like over there, overseas, they only know Americans from like YouTube and TV. Like when I was living in Sweden, true
Yeah.
story. This one guy told me everything he knew about America, he knew from the TV show Friends and The Wire. Yes, he told me that he's from Sweden. That's what he told me. With a straight face, I asked him like 3 times, like, "Are you serious?" With a straight face, The Wire and Friends. That is what he knows about America.
Talk about stereotypical. Jesus. Like,
Yeah. So
yeah. My roommates, like the barracks over there, we had 3 roommates. And just so happened all 3 of my roommates were Korean guys. They spoke English though. You know, it was really good broken English is what it was. But I lived with them. They didn't ever really like to go out and like party because like the Korean military, like the actual like rock soldiers, the one of the Republic of Korea, they are some badasses. Like we were moving out to go to like a field, like we were doing exercise out in the field, and it's January in Korea, and it's like 5 degrees, like no shut, like it's 5-degree weather, and we're riding along, in a convoy, and we're going to the next spot, and I look over, and there's a platoon of Korean Marines butt naked in a river taking a bath like it wasn't nothing.
Oh wow!
Like, and I mean, I'm sitting there with Mickey Mouse boots on and Gore-Tex, and I'm freezing. And and they're like just monster guys, like just. And when you see them out in like the malls or something down in Seoul, I mean, they got these chiseled necks and faces, and so you don't even want to look at them. They look mean. But my roommates, they were called Katusas, which is Korean Ajumantu to the U.S. military. So I got to live with them and learn all about Korean culture. Like I learned how to read it, write it. I had a couple really good friends over there. Girlfriends, I guess you could say. People that I had a lot of fun with. And all of them knew that I was only going to be there for X amount of time. But still I had some of the best times of my entire life over there. Like,
yeah, I could say the same for me, man. I had some great times when I was living overseas, and I do plan to still travel. It'll probably be less frequently, of course, but I got the travel bug still, so I was just ready to come home and settle down, get these kids in the proper school.
Like, how cool is that, though, for them to be able to grow up and talk about where they grew up at?
Yeah.
That's crazy cool.
Like, my daughter doesn't even know America. We left America before she was 1. So, she lived, but she only knows, overseas.
So how, like, I guess what would you say is like the biggest difference between a really nice city here in the United States versus what you experience over there?
Man, well, I could say like Dubai is a city that's like it's like insane. It's like it's really clean for one, like, but it's like everything they do at a grand scale. Like they got the world's tallest building, right? They got the world's largest mall, Dubai Mall. They got everything they do is the biggest. They got the world's highest zip line or something. It's crazy. Everything they do there is grand. It's so much money over there, man, and it's the people are very friendly. I would say, like here in America, it's pretty hit or miss. Like they're friendly people, and there are people who are very rude. I will say they have different forms of I don't know if racism is the word, but they have tiers that they place certain nationalities over there. So and depending on your nationality, you can only do certain jobs, you know. So like Americans, like we are the teaching and we work in finance and work in the oil industry and stuff like that. But then you have um, people from like Bangladesh and from India and from Sri Lanka, and they're over there, they're nannies and they're maids and stuff, you know.
Right.
Yeah, so it's so they have that going on over there, which I wasn't a big fan of, but that's how their culture is. And over there, like because everybody's so diverse, like it's nice to just be an American as opposed to being like black and white. Like
Right.
you're just American.
Right.
I really enjoyed that part of it. Of course, that
That's so like that's my ideal thing. Like that's what I believe because I believe we're just
yeah,
people like we're trying to make it, in this world. You know what I mean? And like I don't know, all that other stuff is just extra to me. It's just
yeah,
extra complicated shit. You got good people and bad people all across the board. So
yeah. It's coming back here to America and coming back to this race thing is like I realized it might have been part of the reason why I subconsciously left
right,
America. And but at the end of the day, home is home, right?
yeah,
And China was it was very different than even Dubai was. The people, they're not used to seeing like black people, I guess.
mhm, right,
So they stare, they take pictures, and they're not like totally rude or anything, but it's kind of like I guess how if you were a celebrity, like
right.
how people like come, they like, wow, that's so and so, and they want to take pictures and stuff, but you just a regular like black guy, and they did it to white people too, but you
Right.
see more white people there than you see black people in China.
So, what about the food? Like, America, was there a lot of American food over there? I mean, I'm sure I know there's American restaurants, but is it plentiful or is it more, like a
Um,
local?
well, what I did discover about the food, especially in the Muslim countries, is they don't have additives or preservatives in their foods, right? They eat what's called halal. Um,
Eat what?
so it's called halal. They eat the halal. So there's no preservatives in the food. They don't add chemicals, hormones, pesticides, things like that. So like the chicken, first thing I noticed was like the size of the chicken, right?
Mm,
Like way smaller than it is here in America, right? So America puts all kind of stuff in the food in order to make it, I guess, to multiply it or to make it more attractive so they can charge more. I don't know what they do.
dude, I am not comfortable with some of that chicken. You're like Walmart chicken,
Yeah,
that shit has got its own muscles.
right. That's what I'm saying. But when you overseas, especially in the Middle East and the Muslim countries,
Yeah.
everything is the normal size, and the food tastes so much better. When I tell you, Burger King over there was amazing. Like KFC was amazing, especially compared to like here. They didn't have a lot of Popeyes. They did have a few. I think they just opened one in Shanghai.
Dude, that's my spot.
Yeah, but they didn't have. They had a couple of Popeyes, but they had mostly KFC. They even had churches in the UAE.
Damn, really?
They called it Texas chicken or something, but it was
I
churches.
thought churches was more, I guess I thought it was getting more of the bottom tier in the whole chicken race, but I guess they're a tried and true. I mean, they got good chicken.
Yeah, they did not have Chick-fil-A over there, and maybe because it's a Christian organization behind them, with them being Muslim.
Yeah, probably so.
They didn't have Chick-fil-A anywhere actually that I can remember traveling to.
So, were there, let's go on that. So, you're probably right about that, with the religions clashing and whatever the case may be. Did you, we talked about like really kind of, I guess, like getting away from like all the race stuff in the United States. but did you walk into a religious thing, or you know what I mean, where you know, I don't know, like I don't know if there's any issue or what or anything's ever come up.
I will say, those the Muslim people, they are very accepting of others' religious beliefs, cultures. Like they had regular churches over there for expats that they could attend,
Mm.
um, and stuff like that. My students did try to convert me to Islam on a daily basis, though. They used to say, if I say these certain phrases, and one even gave me a Quran in English. It was translated in English, which is
Yeah,
pretty cool. Yeah, so no, I didn't experience. I did learn about the other Middle Eastern countries, and they're fighting with each other, for whatever reason.
yeah.
Yeah, and the religious holidays, like right now it's Ramadan, so like I learned what that was about. Um,
What
so
is what is Ramadan about?
Ramadan, so it's the holy month, and during that month they don't eat or drink anything um, during the day. And then when the sun goes down, they have what's called an iftar, which is like the meal of breaking the fast. And it's to show their devotion to God. And but over there, they enforce law. So like, let's say, like me, I'm not Muslim, right? But let's say I'm chewing gum outside during Ramadan, I would get a fine.
Damn.
Yeah, so like,
Yeah.
so you have like you can eat like they would have like restaurants, but they'd be like closed off, so like no one can see
Right.
for us, so we can still go and eat and stuff like that. But really, the cities be shut down until till the sun sets.
Right.
Yeah,
Hmm.
China they had like Chinese New Year, which is their big thing there. It wasn't really a lot about religion. A lot of cultural things though
Cultural.
that they're into. Yeah, but like Chinese New Year was a big thing. That's where I got this MacBook from. I won it at a Chinese New Year's event. They gave me a MacBook.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Hey, I got this MacBook Air on Chinese New Year in actual China. What's up? Like, yeah, that's awesome. um, so how long were you over there?
I was in the UAE for 2.5 years. I was in China for 1.5 years, and then I was in Sweden for about 6 months.
Which one was your favorite?
Uh, I think work wise, I have to say Sweden was my favorite.
Uh,
Living outside of work, definitely the UAE.
so is that with like the same company or is
No,
it you
so I
just
went.
searched out other jobs?
Yeah, I just went looking for jobs that I was qualified. I got like degrees and certifications in a lot of stuff, so I qualified for a lot of things. So yeah, I went. I taught science in the UAE, and then I was an administrator for a private school in China, and then I taught technology at a private school in Sweden.
In a private what school?
Private school in Sweden.
Wow. Did you
Yeah,
do the mountains over there? Like skiing or anything?
I went to the ski on a field trip, but I didn't. I'm not into that stuff. I should have, but I'm too afraid to. my
So
son, my son was skiing though; he enjoyed it.
so would you say like the air like there is any different? Like
Oh, and we talking air quality. So the air quality in Asia, that's part of the reason why I came home too. I was on antibiotics a lot because I told you I had asthma, which is why I got discharged out the military, right?
right.
So in the UAE, I had a lot of upper respiratory infections, and in China, I just had problems breathing. Um, Sweden, they had some pretty clean air, pretty clear, but it was like cold um, all the time. Like it was cold. Wasn't too snowy. I think they got snow now, but it wasn't too snowy when I was there. Um, but as far as air quality,
Yeah.
yeah, Sweden had the best air quality. Like for instance, like Los Angeles is notorious for smog, right?
Right.
On a bad day, Los Angeles has an AQI, which is the air quality index, of about 71, 75. That's bad for Los Angeles, right? In China, that's a good day.
Really?
That's like, so the worst pollution day in Los Angeles is like a great day. Like you love those days in China. It was times in China, like we went weeks with no sun.
Wow. That's. Have you ever seen the article that I think Wired magazine or somebody did on China's like their artificial sun? That
No, I
they're,
never seen that.
it's like I'll send you the link. It's crazy. It's all these mirrors and reflectors and it's crazy. I think they said a billion of it's a billion something that it puts out, whatever that shit is.
Yeah, no, I had not heard that, but I'm not surprised. China, we talk about technology. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't go to an ATM the whole time I was there. Everything's done with your phone over there. It's crazy how that works. You
What
can
about
sit,
cash? Like, do you not use cash at all?
don't need it.
Like even in the markets?
Cash was not in the markets. You just put up like a code and scan it, and they can scan it, and you pay them like that. Everybody has a phone, right?
Right.
And is the apps. They have these two main apps they use called Alipay and
Mm-hmm.
WeChat and
We pay.
WeChat and Alipay.
Yeah, I'm familiar with WeChat.
Yeah, they run by the Alibaba company, a big tech company
Yeah.
in China.
Yeah, they do a lot of wholesale, like online sales, don't they? Yeah, Alibaba.
Yeah, so and they got this one app. Man, I forgot the name of it, man, but it would destroy Amazon, man. I forgot the name. It'll come to me. But like you could order anything, you could take a picture of something, right, and upload it, and then to find it for you, and you could buy it, and it'll come delivered to your house the next day. It was crazy,
That's
and it was China too, so everything was cheap.
right.
Yeah.
Wow. So did you try any crazy like foods or are you that type of person?
No, I went to like the markets where they had like the tarantulas on the stick and starfish and stuff. I took pictures and videos, but
You didn't try none of it?
God, man, like I told you, I'm a very safe person, so I ate some very questionable meats, I would say, for dining choices,
Right.
but that's probably as adventurous. And I could say like Chinese food in China is not the same as Chinese food in America.
Oh, I bet. I
Yeah.
bet.
Don't go over there looking for like kung pao chicken
Right.
and stuff. It ain't the same, man. It's
But I mean, some of that stuff is surprisingly good. You know, like when I was seeing this Korean girl.
yeah, like
Over in
Korean
Korea.
food is different. Like Korean food, I didn't have any, but I hear it's pretty good. But it's not China. It's not Chinese food.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
and then you got Hong Kong, which Hong Kong is dope. It reminds you of America a little bit.
I bet so. I mean, because Hong Kong was controlled by Britain for a long time.
Yeah,
So it's
and
got a lot of that influence.
that's one of the conflicts that I was privy to while I was living in China. Because when we were going through training, it was like in the classrooms, the teachers can't talk about Hong Kong or Taiwan because it's a very sensitive subject. And they would edit like the textbooks, like the Chinese government would like take the textbooks and black certain parts of the like history books and stuff out or just tear the pages out. So we'll get textbooks delivered with black marks in them or pages missing.
Right.
Yeah, because the government got total control, and they're trying to take back control of Hong Kong. And Hong Kong, like
Mm,
the way it is.
yeah,
So
those kids are like they're not trying to have it.
yeah, so so I was there when all that was taking place.
Were you really?
Yeah.
So what was it like around town? Like was it tense everywhere?
Well, no, not in China. Like that was all Hong Kong. That
Yeah.
was that was dealing. China's fine. Mainland China.
So you're in mainland China, not Hong Kong.
Yeah, I was about an hour from Shanghai.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I remember watching that on the news, and you gotta feel bad for those people that are going through it. I mean, I saw some crazy shit
Yeah.
on video from like journalists and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like during those confrontations between the police and the protesters when they finally made it to that school. That was our last stand right there.
Yeah.
Like, man, that's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, I got to experience a lot of this stuff firsthand. But the coolest part about living overseas, man, is seeing stuff that I used to read about in history books and stuff, man. Like I got to go to Egypt and saw the pyramids. And,
That's on my bucket list. And I'm
yeah,
super fascinated by ancient like civilizations and technology and a bunch of those things that nobody ever really talks about. Super interested in that.
yeah, I saw the pyramids. Still, I don't understand how they built that, man. Like it's
All I
crazy.
know is that it's
That's why I encourage people, man, to travel and to visit
yeah.
these places. Like I went to Rome and I saw the Roman Colosseum, man, and went to Paris
Man, dude, like
and the Great
that's
Wall of
another thing
China.
I'm super fascinated about that Coliseum and the damn ship wars that they used to have when they'd flood that shit and then drain it and have the damn lion eating the dude. Dude, they
Yeah,
were beasts, bro. Like beasts back in the day.
and it's still like Rome is crazy. Rome probably looks exactly like it looked back when it was built. Like they ain't changed much. Like it's one of the oldest places. Compare that to Athens, right?
Right,
Where Athens is pretty modern. Like they updated it. They have the ruined areas,
right.
but the city itself is pretty modern, like any other city. But in Paris too. But like Rome looks like pretty close to I bet what it's always looked like. Like they have really preserved it. It's
And
pretty cool, man. Going like from here to where I guess Christianity is the prevailing religious ideology here in America. And then you go to Europe and it's kind of the same. And then you venture into the Middle East where they have Islam. And then you go further east and then you got the Buddhists and stuff, man. It's like seeing but to see the similarities in all of the religion, you realize it's really all the same. It's just same script, different cast. Uh, the beliefs and all, and some people just follow their religion closer than others. But really, it's not much difference. Um, it's just they focus on certain aspects more of the same religion than others do. Like Catholics focus on the Virgin Mary, right? Whereas, oh, you know what? That's my next set of trips. So I've been pretty much everywhere
uh,
over in Asia and Europe, right? Except for I haven't been to Japan. Or as far as places I want to go. I want to go to Japan and Australia, right? But aside from that, I want to go to South America. So maybe you can come with me.
fuck yeah, dude. I've been
Go
wanting to
to
go.
Mexico and South America, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's tainted shit. Maybe that's why we haven't gone. But I have been dying to go because I want to go to the pyramids. I want to go see the pyramids.
Yeah, I want to go to Brazil. I want to go to Central America and just venture off and venture up into Mexico and then work my way back to Texas, I guess.
I mean, researching, like I've done like a lot of research on like the Egyptian people and that
Mm-hmm.
society and the connection between astrology and religion and even like magic.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of like similarities between those Aztec and Mayan cultures. Like there's actually a lot of cultures that were like that around the world back in the day. I just don't think that a lot of those other cultures or sites get a lot of attention because, I mean, from my understanding, like there's all over the ocean floor, like the pyramids are in certain areas.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I wish I could time travel. Like I would, I mean, seriously, like, yeah, I'm so fascinated by it though because it's not, it hasn't been your typical like, these are primitive people story. Like these are stories about, like, I mean, I saw a story about over in Iraq of them having like a, I don't know, 3,000-year-old lamp that they found,
Yeah,
and they got it to burn like today. But we using like lemon juice and water, and it had like these little things on it. And so, you're talking like they got these pictures, like the hieroglyphs where they're depicting like flying craft, and where do these things come from? Like there's no proof, but like I said, if they had made it that far, maybe a lot of that stuff was on some like form of digital media that they might have come up with. I mean, I don't know. Like I don't know if it's possible with the technology that they had, but it seems like they must have had some other form of recording what they had going on because if we just don't find enough
Yeah,
information.
people may have discovered some things that didn't know how to interpret it, and it may be exactly what you're talking about.
Right.
So,
I mean, it could have even been a war, because back then, like, one culture was fighting another culture, they would pretty much erase them from the area that they took over and build their own society. I really wonder what societies were lost to those types of things and what they were actually bringing to the beginnings of what we've become today. Like, I'm super fascinated about that type of stuff. Yeah.
How do we get into all of this deep stuff, man?
I don't know. Like, I dig it though. So, but anyway, yeah, I gotta wrap it up. I gotta do some work. But man, it was a pleasure talking to you. I'm gonna record. I'm gonna record an outro, and an intro. They'll talk about this show and this, that, and other. Now, do you got all your social media stuff in your head?
Yeah, everything is DJ Twilight 06, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook is me, but Twitter and Instagram, my Mixcloud page, DJ Twilight 06.
It's all 06.
Yeah, it was 06. I'm about to redo like most of my mixes because due to copyright issues, I have to change some things, I think. So they won't play. Yeah, they won't play here in America. It's all the mixes where I have specifically named artists on the title of the mixes. They won't play here in the States. My friends overseas, they can still listen here in America, unless you got a VPN.
Right, yeah, that's what's yeah, that's what I use.
So I'm going to redo a few of them that I did and re-release them.
Yeah, they came in handy when we got to go to Ireland, back about 4 months ago.
Oh, Ireland is dope, by the way.
Bro, I got to fly a fucking Falcon, freaking Falcon. Like the last night that we were there, like we went with Hyundai, all paid for, tickets paid for. They gave us like $500 in euro for spending money, and then like any event with them, it was free food, free liquor, and they'd always give you a prize every time. And so last night we ate dinner at this big fancy ass freaking dinner at a castle, and then like there was this guy that he was a bird guy, and he had like owls and a few different falcons, and it was so neat because like he put that I put that glove on, and we were standing in a group, and he put the bait on my hand, and he played my arm out, and this falcon comes from the top of the castle, like probably doing about 100 miles an hour. I'm like, Jesus, this dude's going to hit us. And I mean, I swear to you, like maybe 10 feet from us, the dude puts his wings up, and literally, I mean, goes from at least about 60 miles an hour. I mean, coming from the top of that thing, and he just ducks his shit, and he gets right there, and he opens up his wings, and he just floats, and he comes up in between us, and he floats up to my hand, and gets the bait, looks around, and then flies off. I was like, damn. Amazing bird. Amazing bird.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
Yeah, so we were supposed to go to South Korea. We were actually supposed to go in April, but then the Rona came out. Freaking Rona.
Yeah, I was supposed to went to Mexico City about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, be careful.
Yeah,
be careful. Mexico City used to be, like the queen, the crown jewel, but they got, like cartel runs a lot of that shit out there, a lot, like for real. Like, most likely, when you buy something, or if you're out at the beach, or you're buying it from a cartel member. So be careful.
Welcome to Black Sunday.
These hustlers know me, these gangsters too. Now I'm looking in the mirror screaming out, what the fuck this nigga gon' do? Get back on the grind, get my hustle up and get my hoe some Jimmy Choo's. My skies are dark, then my days are too. Then we see that light, come and walk on through. Like the coming of a God for the second time, nigga, this is deja vu. Now who you crapping on, homie? I feel myself. You pray for life, nigga, I pray for death. Cause I'm killing these rappers, white dudes out here still playing Scrabble. Hit them with adverse and strap up bastards. Now when you going with no tabernacle, niggas ain't bringing no hoes back out. So might as well go ahead, be ball at the past. It seems like the shit we doing is moving much faster. Haters right behind me, tell them pick out my trash out. Cause I'm going in, no matter where you turn, it's a win-win. These member thickers, limb from limb, it's starting to lighten up, I guess it's bright. Damn, Black Sunday, you're nothing like damn. My skies are dark, my days are gray, and it really seems like that payday is so many days away. But this Black Sunday, it shall be the day. Black Sunday, it's a new day. My skies are dark, my days are gray, and it really seems like that payday is so many days away. Yet this Black Sunday, it shall be the day. Black Sunday, cool Sunday. Mama need a new house, and I need a new car. Sister about to graduate, that's why I murk these bars. Fuck local king, man, I aim for the stars. Just give me a couple years, gon' pull that Benz out that garage. They like, good God, he made it. Only took time and some patience. Now niggas on blogs hating like he sold his soul to Satan. Nah, this God power plus hustle with horsepower. Thinking like Tony Montana. God damn it, the world is ours, but I'm forward thinking, cause I'm still off in that Lincoln where the passenger tire be leaking, and I ease my pain by drinking on my knees like a porn star, but only for a good reason. Thanking God and asking for blessings, and can say it, I received it. And behind them troubles I leave it, because there were headaches without relief. And I was blessed before the feed is patiently waiting for my season. To the moonlight I pledge my allegiance. Hope y'all niggas ready for doom, cause Black Sunday be their allegiance. My skies are dark, my days are gray, and it really seems like that payday is so many days away. But this Black Sunday, it shall be the day. Black Sunday, it's a new day. My skies are dark, my days are gray, and it really seems like that Fell off bad, back against the wall. Crabs in the barrel, but I crawl right back. Now some hard whips in the chain, slave shit, you know the bras like that. Shout out Chiefo, 15 Ward. Phil took me down through that Noya. Sounds to 8, rest in peace, taught me the game, introduced me to soldiers. Shouts out to my nigga Bust Down, N.O., H-Town. Ice Mike tried to get me out them streets, he's still pleading with me right now. Hold it down, hustle hard, dope game, that's all I know. Had a son last year trying to stay out the pen, man, I gotta stay free so I can watch him grow. Shouts out to my hating baby mama, shouts out to a new day, no doubt. Mike Watts told me go and get it, G-Dash told me you switch the house. Me, I'm just gonna represent the South, put it down like I did always. Remember back to them projects with them rocks hid in them hallways. Stomach touching my back till my nigga fronted that crack. Now go Sundays, I'll be black and the niggas that's with me, I'll be strapped. Get big money, you don't know about it. Struggle like me, nigga, I doubt it. That's why I'm in the club wild and I ride in the VIP, be way too crowded.
My skies are dark, my days are gray, and it really seems like that payday is so many days away. But this Black Sunday, it shall be the day. Black Sunday, it's a new day. My skies are dark, my days are gray, and it really seems like that payday is so many days